Hey, everybody. Hey, just want to remind you this Sunday morning we'll be back in the parking lot, 10 a.m. We've been having a great time out there. So come out, enjoy some worship and some fellowship and some time in the Word. We gather at 10. We're usually done by around 11:30. So come on out and have a great time. If you're still staying home, then you can find us online. We're on Facebook Live. We're also on YouTube. You can just go to our website, click on Los Altos Live, and it will give you a link right to this Sunday's service. Okay, so I'm really hoping to see you there. Hey, today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a passage in the book of Hebrews that talks to us about Jesus. And since we've been going through the book of John and we've been talking about who Jesus is and what he's done for us, I think this passage is a great companion to all that. So I wanna take a look at that with you. This is in Hebrews chapter 1, and it starts right off in verse 1, and it goes like this. It says, God, after he spoke long ago to the fathers and the prophets in many portions and in many ways, in these last days has spoken to us in his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, through whom also he made the world. So he's telling us, pretty simply, right? God, from the very beginning, has been in communication with human beings. Started off with Adam and Eve in the garden, where he was there in person. Throughout history, at different times, he's appeared personally to people, or he has sent prophets to them, human beings that he gave messages to send to these people. Sometimes he gives a message to an angel, and the angel comes and delivers that message to a person. But he tells us that in these last days, these days in which we're living, the days that have really began when Jesus was taken back up into heaven and seated at the right hand of God. In these last days, he says, he has spoken to us in his Son. Well, I guess you can even back that up to his birth. Probably makes a little more sense. But anyway, you get the idea. In these last days, he has spoken to us in his Son. And this is what he says about the Son. He says that he was appointed heir of all things, and through Christ, he also made the world. So Jesus, everything belongs to him. It's all his inheritance. But he also is the one who made it all. So everything is from him, everything is through him, and everything is to him, right? Jesus made the world. And look at verse 3. It says, he is the radiance of his glory and the exact representation of his nature. And he upholds all things by the word of his power. He is the radiance of God's glory. He is the exact representation of his nature. And he upholds all things by the word of his power. You know, you'll often hear me refer to Jesus as the creator and sustainer of the universe. And it comes from this passage. In this passage, we find that he made everything and that everything belongs to him. We also find that he is upholding everything. He is the one who's keeping the universe together, who's not letting every atom split and just cause a big ball of fire. It's the power of Christ that's holding the universe together. And it's this Christ who God has used to speak to us, to bring us the message of salvation, to show us who God really is and what God's really like. You know, this idea that Jesus is the exact representation of God. He is God in human flesh. And as God, he has loved us. He died for us. He rose again from the dead, proving that that sacrifice was accepted to God. He loves us. He died for us. He forgives us. He gives us life eternal, to know Christ and to know the Father, as we looked at in John 17 this last Sunday. That's to have eternal life. That's what eternal life is. It's having a relationship with God through Jesus Christ. So he loves us. He forgives us. He gives us life. He promises us a future. And in the midst of all of that, he promises never to leave us, never to forsake us, to be with us always, even to the end of the age. And I know I jump on that verse a lot, or that concept a lot, but just think about it. The same God who created the universe, the same God who sustains the universe, is the same God who made you, who loves you, who forgives you, who gives you life, who promises you an eternal future together with him. That same God is involved in your life each and every day. He's always with you. He guides our steps. He directs our paths. He leads us away from temptation and into effective service. This is our God. He's so big that he controls everything. And yet he cares about each one of us intimately. He cares about you intimately. He wants you to know him intimately. He wants to be able to speak to your heart, to have you hear his voice, and to have you obey every call that he extends to you. When you understand that's who Jesus is, really, seriously, what else do you need? That's our God. That's your God. That's my God. And he is always, always looking out for us. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope to see you on Sunday. God bless you all.